So you've probably heard that women need totally different workouts than men. More reps, lighter weights, different exercises. I think this is an important topic because there's a lot of misinformation. And I think we need to talk about the core principles of training. Muscle grows the same way whether you're a man or a woman. And that's important. Of course, maybe a guy might build more muscle pounds wise, but it's still the same. Progressive overload, enough volume, good recovery, these are going to apply to everybody. There's no special formula for women versus men. And I think there is, of course, some differences. Like fatigue resistance is a really good one. Research shows that women in general are able to handle more sets and exercises than men, which is really cool because, that means that you can do more work. But it doesn't necessarily mean you should do more work. Generally, when I'm coaching clients, my goal is always to give you the minimum effective dose to getting a great result. So if I could start you out with 3 half-hour workouts a week and you're going to get great results, I'm happy with that. I don't need to start you out at 5 times a week. Most of my new clients will start out, whether they're a man or a woman, at 2 half hours or 3 half hours a week, and that works well. So, even if you have the ability to do more, does not necessarily mean you should, whether you're a guy or a woman, okay? Start with less, and then you progress gradually based on your results, your recovery, but also your schedule. Like maybe you're a working mom. You don't have time to do 4 hours a week in the gym. Now, some people think that rep ranges should be different for men and women, but it's really the same thing here. If your goal is to build strength, you should be lifting heavier weights for lower reps. If your goal is muscular endurance, it's a little bit different, right? You're going to do lighter weights, higher reps. But the cool thing here is if your goal is to build muscle, honestly, all rep ranges work really well. So I would recommend a variety of rep ranges. You might do some heavier weights. You might do some lighter weights. You can mix it up month to month. Every 12 weeks you can mix it up. Every day you can mix it up, which is really cool. The rep range is not about gender. It's goal specific. And that's the most important takeaway here. Okay. I think a lot of people think there's all these differences, but the biggest differences for men and women are going to be your goals. But here you go. And going into goals, it's like a lot of times women want to train or develop their glutes and their legs. And not all women, right? But their workouts are going to include more squats, lunges, hip thrusts, but also more often. A lot of men, they're going to want to develop their arms and shoulders, right? So they're going to include more of that kind of stuff. But there's no rule here. It's not gender specific. And there's nothing wrong with a guy wanting to develop his legs and glutes. So he would train that way himself. And vice versa. A woman might want to develop her shoulders and arms, and so she's going to have more volume towards that direction. What matters most has nothing to do with gender. The biggest important principles are going to be sleep, stress, nutrition, schedule, and recovery. Those make or break your results. So a plan that's going to fit your lifestyle and is sustainable is always going to win out over some cookie cutter women's or men's workout plan you see online. The program should adjust to your goals, schedule, and your ability to recover again. I can't say that enough. And when I'm working with a new client, I write up a plan based on all those variables. That's very important. So, obviously in this video, you've heard that, women and men should not train differently. Same principles apply with progressive overload, volume recovery, rep ranges based on goals. The main difference, again, is going to come down to preferences, priorities, and lifestyle. I think this is really important for you. But, if you want my free workout program tool, of course, I've actually created, it actually goes over how to create a workout plan based on your goals. Comment below saying course, and I'll reach out to get it to you. That way you're going to learn how to build your program to fit your goals, your schedule, or your recovery without guesswork or following a cookie cutter plan. Hopefully you have a good day.